Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. Are you there? Can you listen to my voice?
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, sir.
Waalaikumsalam. I'm here.
Have you taken your lunch?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Do not feel heartbroken because of the match result last night. It's very disappointing for me as well because I was expecting that Manchester United can win the game.
No, sir.
Unfortunately. All right. So if you are a Liverpool fan, do not talk to me. Okay. Right.
You
Just
never go alone.
I'm Arsenal, sir.
okay. Arsenal. Do we have Arsenal?
We same point, sir.
Beg your pardon again,
Don't
sorry.
forget. We are on the same page here right now.
Yes, on the same
Same point.
Yeah, and I wanted to flip the page quickly. Yes. All right. Okay. So today, as I have promised you, today we're going to discuss about your first assessment. Okay, we're going to do the briefing about your first assessment. We're going to look into detail about assessment 1A and assessment 1B and what are you really supposed to do about it. Okay. So it is going to be a group work and a pair work for this section 13P, because there are 28 of you. So there will be 8 groups, okay, consisting of 3 person in a group, and then there will be 2 pairs altogether. So 8 times by 3 is 24, 26 and 28, okay? So 8 groups consisting of 3 in a group and 2 pairs, okay? So by now, okay, after this, I want you to discuss among your friends, okay, who will be with who, and then if it is going to be a group work, make sure that you have a maximum of 3 only, and then who will be working in pairs. All right, so that will be about your first assessment in brief. Okay. All right, before we go into detail, I would like to check the attendance for today. So when I call upon your name, please answer yes if you are here. Okay. All right, so Nick Adli Afif, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Muhammad Hafiz Mustaqim.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nurul Anissa.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Anawin Chorung Riang. Oh, okay, your microphone is not working. Right, no worries. Okay, Muhammad Najmi Naim.
Ada, sir.
Yes, okay, you are here. Muhammad Saiful Azani.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Muhammad Muazzam bin Tarmizi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Hazlami.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Zarif Aidit. Muhammad Zarif Aidit. Okay, not here yet. Muhammad Syahmi bin
Yes,
Muhammad Jalani. Okay, good. Muhammad Akil, are you here? Muhammad Akil bin Kamaruliza. Okay, not here yet. Ahmad Imran.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Adham Syahmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Lukman Hakim.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Muhammad Farhan Hakimi. Muhammad Farhan Hakimi bin Abdullah, are you here? Alright. No worries. Ahmad Syahmi bin Jamli.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Al-Haziq.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Hazim bin Abdul Rahim. Muhammad Hazim bin Abdul Rahim, are you here? Someone switch on the microphone. Haziq. Muhammad Hazim bin Abdul Rahim, are you here? Okay, Hazim, yes, you are here. Alright, Muhammad Solihin, you are here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Muhammad Faris bin Abu Hassan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Haikal Hafiz.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Raja Hafizuddin.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, Ali Imran.
Yes, sir.
Ali Imran, are you from Kuantan?
Yes.
Which part of Kuantan are you from?
My home at Taman Guru, you know, at Batu
Dulu.
Lima.
Okay, all right. Do you have a house before this in Bukit Angin?
Yes.
Your father sold the house to me and my wife.
Oh,
Okay, what a small world. Because I remember your father's name. All right, never mind. I'll talk about it later. Okay. All right.
yes, sir.
Nur
Thank you.
Hidayah, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Wan Nur Faris Iskandar, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Abdul Rahman bin Muhammad Hussein.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nurul Shazwani Izian.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jessica, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who else I didn't call his or her name? No one? All right. Okay. So enough about the attendance. Luckily, 25 of you are here. Okay, maybe the other 3 are having some problem. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, at the same time, you can log into Kalam. All right, you can log into Kalam, and please go through Kalam as well as I am presenting my screen to you. All right, so can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So now we are in week 3. Okay, we are in week 3. So in week 3, we are actually supposed to look at directional approach, okay, on how to use the product, okay, and then or informational approach, which is on how it works, okay, for the process. All right, and we are supposed to have a look at our second or first assessment, okay, briefing on the first assessment, which carries 30% of your overall marks. Okay, in the second meeting this week, all right, you are supposed to come up with the presentation outline, whereby you in the group, okay, after this briefing session, you and your group members or you and your partner, you have to discuss about a product that you are going to present later on for your first assessment. Okay, all right. The product itself, okay, we have a list of a banned products whereby you cannot pick any of the products there anymore. Okay, why? Because the products that we have in the list is actually not new, okay, which is not recent, and it has been in the market or presented before this. Okay, it has been in the market for more than 1 year, all right, before. So once the product, okay, that you choose to present, you and your group members or you and your partner has been approved by me, then you can have a look at the presentation outline that we have in Kalam. Okay, I will show it to you afterwards, right? And then you need to draft it for approval. Okay, right. So what are the things that you need to include? We will discuss about it later. Okay, next, the briefing on your self-access activity 2 will be given in the second meeting. Okay, but since our second meeting is going to be asynchronous classes, so most probably, okay, I will give you the link to our first self-access activity and also a voice note on how are you going to do it later on. Okay, not today. All right. So these are the things that we are going to do or we are going to have for the third week for technical oral presentation. All right. Okay. All right. So if you go to Kalam, all right. So we are now in Kalam. I am displaying the page on Kalam under week 3. Okay. Hopefully, right, in week 2 you have done the writing a technical description exercise. Okay, I haven't got the chance to check it during weekend because my weekend was occupied with like arranging my house actually. Okay, all right. So please go through all of the resources over here. For example, parts of speech. Okay, the exercises on parts of speech over here we have 2, and then the notes on simple present tense. Okay, and also the exercises on simple present tense. Okay, you don't have to submit these, but just for you to recap or to refresh what you have learned before this, and also maybe you forgot about it, okay, then you can just go through it again on your own, and then you can do the exercises to check your understanding, okay? All right, apart from that, okay, you can also read the notes or watch the notes or the video on active and passive voice, okay, in technical writing. So we have uploaded actually the link to the video on informational approach and directional approach, okay, in the second meeting or the second week actually, all right. But this is what you are going to have a look in this week. And apart from that, okay, in our Telegram group later on, okay, today, I will share a link to the updated video that I have recorded regarding directional and informational approach in process explanation. Right. Okay, then you can read the notes on process explanation in the second meeting, right? And also together with the other resources regarding process explanation. For example, how to install click together flooring, okay? How to build an outdoor bench seat. So these are some of the resources. Okay, it's actually a YouTube video on the process explanation. So from the beginning until the end, what are you supposed to do if, for example, you are going to build a raised vegetable garden? Okay, so you can watch, and this is how you are going to present later on when it comes to your technical description. Okay, for week 3 today, all right, I'm not going to go through all of the resources here. You can read it on your own, okay, because basically our main focus for week 3 is actually on the briefing about your first assessment. Okay, all right, so you can go through active and passive table, okay, information and process, passive voice, okay, there are some exercises here. Right, you can also do the imperatives and passive voice exercises, okay. Maybe I can just download it so that you can have a look at what you are supposed to do. Okay, remember when we talk about imperatives, okay, it is actually used to give instruction or direction, right? So in these exercises, what are you supposed to do? You have to change between, okay, from imperative to passive or from passive to imperative. Okay, for example here, apply the parking brake and put car into park position. So when you're going to change it, all right, so you are going to write it in, okay, passive form. The car should be parked, should be put into park position and apply the parking brake. So that is how you are supposed to arrange it, okay? Or the second one over here, a heavy object, example rock, concrete, spare wheel, etc., is placed in front of the front and back tires. So when you are going to change it to imperative, remember instruction, okay? So when you have the instruction, the verb should appear in the beginning. So for example, the word apply here, okay? The word take, right? It is actually a verb. All right, so for the second one over here, all right, how are you going to change it to imperative? Okay, all right, so place in front of the front and back tires a heavy object, in bracket, example rock, concrete, spare wheel, etc. So this is going to be the beginning of it, okay, because it is an instruction, a verb. Okay, so it is not going to be in past form, it is going to be in present form. So place in front of the front and back tires a heavy object such as rock, concrete, spare wheel, etc. So that is on the activity that you can do later on. Okay, all right. So we also have the quiz on, this is hidden actually, all right. So I'm going to give you the access about it later on, okay. All right, and then we have two copies of your, not two, it's actually two separate copies, okay, of assessment 1A and assessment 1B. You can click it open now, but we are going to discuss about it a bit while after this, okay? Not a bit while, actually, it's very soon, okay, very soon. All right, so TOP here is for topic approval. I'm not going to use Kalam, okay? So instead, most probably, I'm going to use Telegram and also our Google Classroom, all right, looking at your product. Okay, so after this, you and your team members and you and your partner, all right, you need to discuss about the product that you're going to choose for your first assessment. Okay, right, so this is the template, okay, for the topic approval. All right, I'm going to have a look at it. Okay, I'm going to open it, all right, and then this is what we are going to have a look at. Okay, and this is what you're going to do. Right, remember there will be 8 groups, and 2 pairs for this section. Okay, right. And then after that, once you have done with it, okay, this is self-access activity 1. Okay, and then this is going to be the cover page for your self-access activity, and this is going to be submitted in Google Classroom. Okay, so you can begin starting from Wednesday until Wednesday next week. So you have 1 week to complete the self-access activity. Right, and then we have here presentation outline for group and presentation outline for the pair. Okay, all right. So if or once the product that you have selected has been approved by me, okay, then you can start working on the presentation outline over here. So this is for group work. Okay, all right. So I can say basically for a group, you need to find a product and you need to make sure that you are able to identify and explain or describe 6 main parts or subparts of the product. All right, as you can see over here, unique part 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is for a group. Okay, all right, and then the conclusion, what should you put in the conclusion part? Okay, and lastly, for the references, okay, you need to list or you need to put a minimum of at least 3 references. If you have more, no problem, but you need to have at least 3, and the references should be written according to APA style 7th edition. Right, I will share the link to a reputable platform that you can refer to when you are going to write for APA style. I believe in 2412 you have learned about APA writing styles. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So maybe the one that you learned in 2412 is the 6th edition, maybe. All right. So now we have the latest edition. For example, if you take the resources from the internet and how are you going to write it? Okay. So there is some changes, okay, to the recent style of writing it. Okay. So this is going to be the presentation outline for a group. Okay, and then this is the presentation outline for a pair. Okay, let's have a look at it. What are the differences? Okay, all right, for pair, instead of 6 main parts or subparts, you just need to go to only 4. Okay, so basically you can have a clearer picture over here that a group, okay, for each group, you are going to present 2 main parts or subparts individually. For a pair, okay, presentation, okay, you're going to present the same thing as what the group did, okay, but you're just going to choose only 4 main parts or subparts. For the group, it's going to be 6. For a pair, it's going to be 4 main parts or subparts. Right, okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So number 1, please make sure that you and your team members or you and your partner discuss first what is the product that you are going to present for the assessment. Okay, and please refer to the list of the banned products that I will be sharing with all of you later on. Okay, right. So do not choose anything from the list given. Right, that is going to be your guideline. Okay, so now let us have a look at your assessment 1A instructions and what are you supposed to concentrate on. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, assessment 1A infographic. So it carries 10% of your overall marks. So the CLO or the course learning outcome to produce a technical product presentation using appropriate skills and strategies. Okay, so remember when you're going to give a technical description about a product, of course you're going to use the sources of description and how are you going to present it. Okay, so for assessment 1A, it is going to be in the form of infographic. Okay, it's going to be like a poster. Okay, and you are going to present based on the poster that you have prepared. The instructions given here. The assessment is divided into two parts: assessment 1A, infographic 10%, and assessment 1B, digital or technical oral presentation 20%. So please read both instructions for assessment 1A and assessment 1B carefully in their entirety. So, though that both assessments, 1A and 1B, belongs to the first assessment, but some of the instructions will be totally different. So please read it carefully. Okay, so for this assessment, you are required to deliver a technical oral presentation describing a latest. So please read the keyword over here is the word latest existing product. Okay, existing product here meaning that it is already in the market. It is not a kickstart program. Do you know what is a kickstart program? Class, do you know what is a kickstart program?
No, sir.
Or GoFundMe program? No. Okay, a kickstart program, for example, I have an idea. Okay, I put it into drawing, perhaps. Okay, and then I want people to fund me for the project. Okay, or for the product. Let's say you donate certain amount. Okay, you fund me certain amount, and then after I have reached the required amount of money that I need to produce the product, then I will give you the product as a token, for example. So meaning that it is not yet in the market. Okay, the one that we are looking for is actually the one that exists in the market. So it's already in the market, people are using it, and the product release date must be less than a year or 12 months. Okay, right, and you are going to assume, you and your group members or you and your partner are going to assume that you are working with a company. Okay, you are the representative of the company, and you're going to attend the Industry Expo virtual exhibition, which will be held from 10 until 12 of November 2021. Okay, so it is going to be a virtual exhibition, okay, Industry Expo, and you are going to assume that you work for that company. So that is the reason why you're going to present about the product. Okay, and remember I talked about planning your technical description last week. Okay, if you watch the video thoroughly, all right, you need to make sure that the product is to be presented to suit both technical and non-technical audiences. So let's say people who just come to your booth, all right, they want to know about the product, but they don't have a background or technical background knowledge about the product. When you're going to use the terminologies, okay, specific terminologies, for example, make sure they can understand what are you trying to tell them. Okay, right. So why 10 to 12 of November? This is going to be your submission date. Okay, so it's going to be starting from the second meeting up until Friday. Okay, from 10 until 12 of November. Right, so we can see that, where is your weekly planner? Right, so this is the week. Now we are week 3. So week 5, you're going to submit your assessment 1A and assessment 1B. Okay, assessment 1A and assessment 1B. So 8 is going to be, 8 of November is going to be the first meeting. The second meeting will be on the 10th. So 10 until 12, right? And I believe that most of you are going to use it until the last day, which is on Friday. So by Friday, 11:59 p.m., okay, each group or each pair will be submitting their assessment 1A and assessment 1B together with other documents needed. So what are the documents needed? Okay, we are going to have a look at it later. Okay, right. So assessment 1A infographic with a partner or in a group of 3, priority depending on the number of students in your class. So since that we have 28, so there will be 8 groups consisting of 3 in a group, okay, all right, and then 2 pairs. So you discuss among you who will be working in a group and who will be working in a pair. Okay, you need to research the product thoroughly. So how to do this? If one of your group members or if your partner has the product, okay, he or she has the product with them, right, in the home. 1 minute. Okay, so he or she can share with you the information about the product. All right? Or you can also, and of course, you're going to use the internet, okay, to search for the product. Okay? Let's say you choose a gaming chair, for example, okay? I'm not sure whether it is in the list of the banned products. Okay, let's say it is a gaming chair. So you can use the internet to look for the model number of the gaming chair, the special features, the limitation, and everything that you need to know regarding the product. Okay, all right. Then in group or in pair, identify the technical description of the unique parts, how each of the chosen unique part works, and how to use the product. Okay, first you find the product, then you look at the technical description of the unique parts. For a group, it must be 6 unique parts. It can be main parts, it can be sub parts. For a pair, it is going to be 4 unique parts. Right? So technical description here, it is going to be in the form of sources of description. The length, the width, the height, for example, the material used, okay, and then the color perhaps, okay, and then how each of the chosen unique part works, okay. Right, for example, if you're talking about the cat litter box, for example, okay, all right, so it is a big one, and then you have the handle, and you are in charge of describing about that particular part. So how does it work? All right, so you're going to explain, okay, lift the handle carefully, and it is strong enough to hold the whole litter box together, and you can bring the litter box anywhere by putting your hand through the handle, okay, for example, right? And then you are going to also look at how to use the product on overall, okay? I mean, like if it is a cat litter box, for example, all right, so you're going to have the door, right, and then the cat will come in. You have to pour in, of course, the sand first, okay, all right, and then you're going to allow the cat to get in the litter box, and then once the cat has finished with the business over there, then you're going to scoop it out, the feces, okay, and then you're going to put it somewhere nice, for example. So how to use the product in overall, how each of the chosen unique part works is going to be individually. Okay, for example, in a group, there are 6 main parts or unique parts that you have to describe. So each main part will be described in detail on how to use it or how it works. Okay, all right. Consult your instructor for approval of your product by week 3, the second meeting. So this is week 3. So on Wednesday, since that it is asynchronous class, okay, you can just ask me in the WhatsApp group, or you can also reach me personally. Sir, is it okay for us to present about this thing? So I will reply to it as soon as possible. Okay, right. Each group or pair must prepare a 1-page infographic poster, only 1 page, okay, as the visual aid. So this is what you're going to use for assessment 1B digital technical oral presentation. So for the presentation, you're going to use the infographic that you have prepared. Okay. For a group, the maximum number of words that you can have for the infographic is 300 to 450 words. For pairs, it is going to be 200 to 350 words. Size is A1 size. Okay, this is the dimension. So when I teach you on how later on next week, okay, on how to use Canva, okay, so please make sure that the dimension for the poster or the infographic should be in A1 size with the dimension of 594 millimeter times by 841 millimeter, okay, which is going to be suitable for a virtual product exhibition. Number 5, upload the final description draft of your infographic into 13 Plagiarism Checker. Ensure that you have a minimum of 3 references in APA 7th edition. So plagiarism of any form will not be tolerated. 0 mark will be given for the description that contains more than 10% of plagiarism. Okay, insert the received tentative result at the bottom of the infographic. So how to do it? Okay, I'm going to explain later. Okay, for this part, number 5 and number 6, okay, each group and each pair, right? Once the product has been approved, okay, and then if you still remember the presentation outline that I showed to you, which is on the group and also the pair work, all right? So once the product has been approved, you need to fill in the information based from your research in the presentation outline. Okay, all right, starting from the draft. Okay, you can ask me, sir, is it okay if we do kind of like this? And then later on, okay, I'm going to give my comment and you do some correction. So until the final draft of your, or the final version of your presentation outline. Once you have completed your presentation outline, so I'm going to collect from each group and also each pair a copy of that presentation outline. So there will be 8 from groups, okay, and 2 from pairs. Okay, so 10 presentation outline altogether. I will upload it to my Turnitin Plagiarism Checker account, and I will generate the similarity index report. So if in the report, okay, do not forget each presentation outline should have a minimum of 3 references in APA 7th edition. Okay, once I have generated the similarity index report, okay, if your percentage is lower than 10%, then you may proceed preparing the infographic. But if your similarity index report is more than 10%, okay, I will ask you to redo it again. Right? So later on in our Telegram group, okay, you cannot simply, in the Telegram group, I will share the link on how to do paraphrasing, summarizing, and synthesizing, meaning that you cannot simply go to the internet and then copy and paste the information from the internet just like that. No. You need to read, you need to understand, and then you need to rewrite the information about the product that you have chosen by summarizing it or paraphrasing it or synthesizing it. So that is what you're supposed to do. If you just take it from the internet by copying and paste it in your presentation outline, there is a huge possibility that your similarity index report will be more than 10%. Believe me. Okay? All right. Is it clear, number 5 and number 6? Okay, clear. Right, good. Okay, submit the soft copy of your infographic as well as the Turnitin similarity report in PDF form, okay, to the agreed platform earliest on 9 or 10 November and latest by 12 November 2021 in the format below. Okay, so for infographic, so please name it like this. The same goes for Turnitin similarity index report. So we are going to use Google Classroom. Okay, so in the Google Classroom, I'm going to create the infographic and also the Turnitin similarity report submission together with your digital technical order presentation. Okay, all right. So assessment 1 is going to be there. Each group or each pair, you need to submit only one infographic, only one Turnitin similarity index report, and only one link to your recorded presentation. Okay, so each group, each pair, only one submission. Okay, all right. So late submissions will not be entertained. Remember, you have until 12 November 2021, 11:59 p.m. If you send it to me after 12 p.m., okay, or 12 a.m., it is going to be considered as late. Okay, all right. So the infographic guidelines is going to be like this. Okay, all right. You need to have the header. Remember that you're going to work assuming that you are working for a company. So you're going to have the company logo, okay, and then the product name, okay, together with the brand and model. Okay, let's say the product name is electric toothbrush, for example. Okay, so the brand name is going to be Braun. What is the model? Okay, all right, maybe BR1234, for example. All right, and then what you should have in the infographic, you need to have the definition of the product. Okay, what is the product about? All right, product overview. Okay, overall description about it. How many main parts and subparts are there for the product? Okay, maybe you can put the product, the image or the visual in the center of the infographic, and then you are going to highlight the main parts of it. Number 3, you need to have the unique parts. Okay, use technical description, sources of description. Okay, relevant visuals, how chosen unique parts work. Okay, that is going to be number 3. So let's say for a group, there are 6 main parts or unique parts that you need to highlight. So maybe you can highlight each of the main part, and then you describe about each of the main part, okay, using sources of description, and you just highlight which is the main part. That is going to be the relevant visuals. And at the same time, please state there how each of the main parts or the unique parts work. Okay. And lastly, how to use the product. So how to use the product over here, meaning that on overall, this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, let's say if it is a lawnmower. Okay, all right. So from the beginning, what are you supposed to do? Right, you have to pour in the petrol, for instance. Okay, right, and then after that, you need to pull the starter, for instance. Okay, and then what are you supposed to do until the end of it? That is going to be on how to use the product. So the infographic must include the content as stated in your presentation guideline. So whatever that you have submitted in the presentation outline for 13 purpose, okay, the content, right, once you have got the similarity index report, and let's pray that it is lower than 10% or 10% and below. So the information that you have put in the presentation outline should be the same as the one that you put in the, what we call it, the infographic. Okay, it must be the same, right? Okay, so at the bottom of your infographic, at the footer part of it, okay, you need to state the minimum 3 references according to APA 7th edition. Okay, and then you need to also put the company contact details. Okay, your email. Okay, and then let's say my name is Muhammad Shafdul Zaman. Okay, at brown.com, for example. Company website, you can take it from the internet, and the phone number, you can also take it from the internet. Alright? Okay. So at the bottom part here, 13 similarity percentage, okay, you can just copy and paste it from the similarity index report, how many percent that you got it there. Okay, you can put it over here. Okay. Right. So for the marking scheme here, you can just go through it on your own. Okay, this is how we award the marks to all of you. All right. So any question about assessment 1A? Question, class?
So far, no question yet, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, but don't worry, if you have any question later on, okay, you can just ask me in the Telegram group. Okay, we move on to assessment 1B, digital technical oral presentation, and it carries 20% of your overall marks. So 20% plus 10%, okay, for the infographic, and you are going to have 30% for your first assessment. So I'm going to skip about the CNO and also the instructions over here. Let's go straight away to what are you supposed to do for the assessment. Okay, your technical oral presentation will be in digital format, meaning that it is going to be a recorded video presentation, and it is required to be submitted by week 5, okay? So you can submit it starting from 10th of November until 12th of November 2021. Okay, so let's say, okay, you choose to submit it on Friday, which is the 12th of November. So there are 3 things that you need to submit. It's going to be the infographic, it's going to be the 13 similarity index report, okay, and it is going to be your video as well. Okay, for the video, my suggestion, okay, you record it individually, all right, and then you merge it together, you edit the video, and then you upload it to YouTube. You can put it either in public or unlisted mode, not private, please, okay, and then you share the link in the Google Classroom. So there will be 3 things that you need to submit in week 5, okay? It's either on the 10th of November or 12th of November, okay? It's going to be your infographic, the soft copy version. It is going to be the 13 similarity index report, which I'm going to provide it to you, okay? And it's going to be the link to your YouTube video, which is actually the recorded video presentation about the program. Okay, right. So you are going to work in the same group. Okay, so groups of 3, you have 9 minutes to present. So we can say that each person will have 3 minutes to present, while pairs will have 6 minutes to present. Okay, so this means, okay, as I mentioned, 3 minutes for each presenter. Okay, so presenters will only be assessed within the allocated time, and so do not go beyond the time limit. So I will clock the time for each of the presenter. Okay, so I'm going to give you marks only that within that 3 minutes. If you exceed that 3 minutes, okay, I won't give marks to the one that you presented after the 3rd minute or the 3 minutes. Okay, as you are supposedly representing your organization or company in this digital technical oral presentation, you must portray a very high standard of professionalism, which include but not limited to. Okay, so these are the suggestions, but if you want to do more, no problem. Okay, right. Making professional appearance in the video presentation suitable for the context of the presentation. Okay, for example, professional attire. Sir, so okay, if you're asking me, sir, is it okay if we use faculty jacket, for example? No problem. Sir, can we use round neck t-shirt? No. Okay, because it shows that you are not professional. All right, so you can use suit, you can use long sleeve shirt with a necktie, okay, you can use faculty jacket as long as it is neat and tidy, okay, and it is professional. Okay, hairstyle, since that some of you may be still staying at home, okay, you have a long hair, okay, and it is not really professional, okay, for the appearance. So please make sure that you make you cut it shorter, maybe, okay, or for girls, okay, let's say if it is too long, okay, the hair, you need to tie it together. All right, makeup, okay, sir, can we wear makeup? Okay, I'm talking about the female students, not male students, okay. So female students, yes, you may, but do not over exaggerate about it, okay. Do not go overly about it, okay. Positioning yourself preferably half of the video frame side by side with your infographic, and making sure your audience will be able to see your upper torso, starting from your tummy up to the head, and your hand motions while you are presenting. So when you are presenting, okay, people can see your hand motions. For example, if you are referring to the infographic on your left, okay, then you can show it to the left. All right, so this is the suggested way of doing it. Well balanced and good use of infographic as visual aid. Okay, so you appear on half part of the screen, and the other half part of the screen is going to be your infographic. Okay, so can we put the whole infographic while we are presenting? My suggestion for the introduction part, yes, you can do that, but when you are going to explain about the unit parts in detail, okay, remember each individual will have to present 2 unit parts. Okay, when you are going to present about it, you just cut that particular unit parts that you're going to present and you put it on the screen. I mean the infographic. So it's going to be bigger and people can see it clearer. So this is going to be my first unit part that I'm going to present. Okay, what is it? Blah 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 blah. And let's move on to the next unit parts. Okay, unit parts number 2. So you have this the different picture. Okay. Right, so please do not do things like this. No visual aid used in the presentation. Size of the presenter is too small in the video frame, okay, at the bottom of it, or the presenter is not in the video at all. Right, so this is the suggested way of doing it. Okay, ensure that audio quality is loud and clear before video submission. So make sure that people can listen carefully to your voice. Okay, and class, right, if you're going to use a webcam, make sure that it is within your eye level. So you are looking directly at the camera, okay? Or if you're using your phone, all right, so make sure that when you record it, okay, it is actually from the tummy, okay, your stomach, okay, up until your head, so people can see you clearly, all right? And then try to minimize distractions and background noise, okay? If you're still at home, make sure that the surrounding is nice, okay? All right, and then try to avoid, okay, any disturbances. Okay, So video background looks as professional as possible. Okay, if you are using, you can use the green screen if you want to, but make sure it is not distracting the audiences. All right, you can also use a white background as well. So it is up to you. Okay, so infographic, yes, you have to prepare it beforehand. And this is going to be your presentation outline. Okay, for a group of 3, right, presenter 1, this is what you're supposed to do. Presenter 2, and presenter number 3. The same goes for pair work. All right, and then the conclusion over here. And in the conclusion, you're going to highlight how to use the product. Of course, you are going to mention it in the infographic, but for the presentation itself, you are going to do the same thing. Summarize your presentation, and then please state what are the benefits of the product, why people should buy, or why people should use the product. Sorry. And also tell the people what will be the limitations of the product. For example, maybe it is a bit expensive. All right. Or in order for you to use the product, you need to have the electricity. So without electricity, you cannot use the product. A vacuum cleaner, for example. Okay. And lastly, you end your presentation with a memorable closing. Okay. So we are going to use Google Classroom for the submission, and this is how you are supposed to file your the name of your submission. Okay, for the video. So if you scroll down a bit, this is going to be the scoring sheet. All right, and I think this time around I'm going to ask you to fill in all of the information here, and then you submit it together with your video. Okay, the link of your video, so that when I watch the video, I can straight away mark or give you the marks. All right, and this is on the marking scheme, the rubrics. How do we award the marks for every one of you? All right, class. Okay, so I have done presenting to all of you regarding our first assessment. So now I am opening this slot for all of you to ask me any question. Feel free to ask me any question, class. Question, please. Class. Question?
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yes, my name is Muazzam. About simple presentance exercise do we need to submit?
No. Okay, about what you have on the parts of speech, tenses, okay, simple present tense, the notes will be for your own reading, and the exercises is for you just to check your understanding, okay, because that is the thing that you are going to use when you are preparing for the infographic, simple present tense, for example, and when you are presenting as well, you're going to use simple present tense.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right.
Sir, about the presentation, right? For the video, do we need to like wear collars or something like that?
You need to wear
T-shirts with collars.
Okay, my suggestion, since that it is going to be a method of like representing a company, so have you attended any exhibition before?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, right. Some companies allow or permits that kind of thing. Okay, because if you are really working, okay, with a company, if they are going to use a collared T-shirt, okay, they are going to provide a uniform one, so it's going to be the same. But if only you have the T-shirt, okay, while the other group members don't have the T-shirt, so my suggestion, what you can do is that you can wear a long sleeve shirt and also a necktie. That will do.
All right, sir.
Okay, right. That's going to be the best solution to it. Right. How about the others? Any other question? No? Okay. Yeah, Shami. Any question?
No.
Okay, all right. So this is another suggestion from me. If you have any question regarding your assessment, okay, please put it in the Telegram group, okay, because I don't have to repeat it again if other people is asking the same question. So if it is related to the assessment, just put it in the Telegram group so that the others reading it can understand or can know about the answer. So it will be easier. Right? Maybe at this moment you don't have any other question, but once you go with the process, then I'm sure that you will have questions. Okay? All right. So regarding the product, you can reach me personally, okay, using Telegram or WhatsApp. Okay, it is up to you, but I prefer to use Telegram this semester. Okay, so you can reach me personally as a representative. Maybe you are the group leader, for example, okay, or you lead the pairs, okay. So you can give me the product, and then we are going to discuss a bit about the product and whether it is approved or not. Okay, so after this, I'm going to share the list of the banned products. So from there, you can have a clearer picture of what kind of product that you should be looking for your first assessment. Right? So if there is no other question, I'm going to stop the recording now. Okay. All right. And then I